Let us not forget everything that happens. It's by the will of Allah. Holy will. It's time to unite and stand, and we will be the best amongst men. It's not time to be extreme or do the unthinkable, but to stand together as one. Tune into Sunnahfollowers, streaming every day, various platforms. Trust me, you'll find a way. Sunnahfollowers.
Assalamu alaikum. Sunnahfollowers is excited to bring to our viewers another treat that will awaken, clarify, and widen our understanding of this beautiful way of life. We are excited to welcome Dr. Daniel Abdul Rahman McBride, who will be joining us each Thursday at 6 p.m. Eastern for a special class geared to the new shahadas in facing contemporary issues of today. Dr. Daniel Abdul Rahman McBride is a renowned author of many books, including Who is Right, Who is Wrong, and Why, which is a comparison of Islam, Christianity, and Judaism. He has been featured on many popular programs as he breaks down Islam to the viewers from a lens of clarity. Stay tuned. Streaming on major platforms, channel Sunnahfollowers. Assalamu alaikum. Sunnahfollowers presents a new and exciting course to add to your Islamic learning and development. Interpretation in Living with the Quran, taught by Sheikh Saad Hassanin, considered to be one of the most accomplished scholars of Quranic science in the United States. He is a member of AMJA, the Assembly of Muslim Jurists of America. He holds a PhD in Islamic Studies, professor at IUM. His specialty is in 10 different styles of Quranic recitation and jurisprudence. Classes will be held every Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern, streaming right here on Sunnahfollowers.
Enjoin the good and forbid the evil. Stay near to the clear and far away if it's unknown. It's based on knowledge, gentleness, and patience. Let's work on doing things to get it to the next level. Enjoin the good and forbid the evil. Stay near to the clear and far away if it's unknown. It's based on knowledge, gentleness, and patience. Let's work on doing things to get it to the next level. Enjoin the good and forbid the evil. Stay near to the clear and far away if it's unknown. It's based on knowledge, gentleness, and patience. Let's work on doing things to get it to the next level. Open your eyes and look around. Open your eyes. See the very things that you read about coming true. Don't you realize the moments are near? Correct yourself in your affairs. He has made it crystal clear. These are the signs of the time.
Assalamu alaikum. Sunnahfollowers, new class. Stay tuned.
Signs of the times.
Girl, hey, Geechee, did not look like I was about to kick somebody's butt in that picture. Did y'all see that picture of me? I was like, oh, are we live? Oh, sorry. Did y'all see that picture though? Geechee, Mina, did I look crazy in that picture?
In the green, yeah.
What was wrong with me? Was I sick? I think. You think I need to take that picture down?
No, look good.
Cause I was like, girl, I ain't never seen me look like that.
You mean business?
I mean, I can make some faces, man, can't I? You know, it runs in the family. You know, I've always been told that I wear my heart on my sleeve. That's an Arabic saying. You wear your heart on your sleeve. Whatever I'm feeling is on my face. That picture looked bad. I was like, did y'all like the songs? Mina, did you hear hold on for a second. I know we live now. But Mina, did you hear the new one on Enjoying Good?
I heard that, yeah.
Y'all like it?
Uh-huh.
By the way, guys, that's the new class, Enjoying Good, Forbidden Evil. That's going to start, when we doing that one? On Tuesday. That's tomorrow.
Thursday.
Woo! That's the class tomorrow, guys. Tuesdays and Thursdays. Let me play it again. Yeah, because did I make it right with the dates? Oh, let me play that again, make sure I got the dates right. But that's supposed to be tomorrow. I got to do the PowerPoint for that. Listen, here it is. Listen, look at it. Let's see. Is this it?
Enjoying the good and forbid the evil. Stay near to the clear and far away if it's unknown. It's based on knowledge, gentleness, and patience. Let's work on doing things to get it to the next level. Enjoying the good and forbid the evil. Stay near to the clear and far away if it's unknown. It's based on knowledge, gentleness, and patience. Let's work on doing things to get it to the next level. Enjoying the good and forbid the evil. Stay near to the clear and far away if it's unknown. It's based on knowledge, gentleness, and patience. Let's work on doing things to get it to the next level.
Yeah, see that? Tuesdays and Thursdays, 9 p.m. Okay, how do I take it off? Oh, God. Hold on. That one had the right dates. Mina, didn't it? So you see that? So that's tomorrow. So that means I got to get that PowerPoint together tonight. Yeah, that's the one. That class will be tomorrow. Oh, yeah. It starts up tomorrow at every Tuesday and Thursday. It's replacing the one we did on the Hadith class of Sheikh Atlee's book. Boy, I got to come up with, I'm going to be up all night because I ain't even thought about putting that together yet. Okay. So y'all see we got new classes this week. Y'all write it down and remind me, Sabrine, Fame, I need to put it on the schedule tonight. Oh, God. Hold on.
All right.
Let me write this. I got to be up all night because I got to redo. That's tomorrow. So change schedule. I got to add that. And the two classes. We got that one and the one with Dr. McBride for Thursday. Oh, God, girl. Woo! We bringing a lot of knowledge here. I really hope you guys are sharing this website because we're live. You guys are learning Islam in its truthfulness with the understanding of those companions live. And y'all see we add more classes. This is Dr. Jamali. Jamali is adding so many classes here. He's getting ready to do a new one too. Geechee, don't forget the Tafsir Surah Nisa. Surah Nisa. He's gonna do Tafsir. Yeah, and Talik, word by verse by verse. Dr. Dramali, since you always listening, we'll probably put that class on the weekends for him. Dramali, inshallah, maybe Saturday and Sunday. Write this down, Fame. Write down for me to ask him about Saturday and Sundays. He can take 9 o'clock on Saturdays and Sundays. I think he should be through with the mosque at that time. And because we all...
don't you got your...
I'm almost done. Yeah, he can replace that. We're almost done with prohibitions. So Dr. Jamali can take, I think weekends are best for him. He can do 9 o'clock Saturdays and Sundays. Write it down. Write it down. Remind me to call him. Okay. New classes. We'll keep it together. Okay. Now, what class is this? Oh, this is my signs of last hour. Okay. Okay. All right, guys, give me a second. Yeah. Always drama when you deal with women. It's a women's website. What can I say? Women run it. Where's Fresno? Fresno! Wherever you are, you need to get in here. You the president of the company. Like she watching. She ain't watching. Okay, hold on, guys. Let me set this up for real. Okay, here we go with this. Oh. Wait a minute. Text message. Might be Jamali. Saturday and Sunday, right? Saturday and Sunday. No, that wasn't Jamali. That's AWA. Okay. Yeah, that'll take some bird. Oh, speak of the devil. Not the devil. Assalamu alaikum.
I just heard you.
Yeah, I was calling you. Yeah, thank God. What do you think? Saturday and Sunday, what you think? Not this set. Don't start this set. Not now. We're going to give you a couple of weeks because I need her to do the jingle. But remember, I was supposed to, I just remember, I'm supposed to get 2 days. You said you wanted to do Surat Nisa, verse by verse, and Surat Talaq, verse by verse, right?
Correct.
Okay. How's Saturday and Sunday at 9 for you?
Okay, sister.
But not now. I mean, you got to. We let her do the jingle. We got to get your ad together and stuff. Did you like the one I did for Dr. McBride?
I did see it. Yes.
Look on Facebook. You didn't see it? He's all over the internet.
I looked. Why you didn't put it in my website?
I didn't put it on your page. Oh, I know why. Because when I made it, I was logged in as somebody else, as Sunnahfollowers. I forget. I got to switch back to Layla. Yeah. Yeah. It's on.
It's not fair.
He's all over the internet. Everybody likes it. Everybody knows who he is, and they're looking forward to the class. And I let him. Yeah. And we're gonna focus on Mormonism. Because like I said, the sisters, we were talking about it here in class. There's a lot of Muslims, 60,000 Muslims out in Utah. They don't even have no mosques, Harley, but they move there to they live in the polygamous lifestyle. They're following the Latter-day Saints.
Yes, I agree with you. It's about all these questions.
Yes, that's what. Yeah. Yes. That's what, yeah, he sent me, I sent him the text. He's sending me the book. But that's what we're going to have him talk about, inshallah, on Thursday. Yeah. Yeah. But anyways, but Saturday and Sunday is good for you, right?
Yes.
Okay. Get this jingle together, Geechee. Okay. All right.
I didn't see this. I looked at the website. I didn't see the one you shared with me, but I didn't see it at all.
You don't see the, what you don't see? He don't see the Daniel. He don't see the McBride one.
No.
Wait a minute, guys. Hold on. Let me send this to Jamali. Hold on, Jamali. Let me give it to you. That's on everywhere. Everybody. Hold on. Let me go on Facebook. I'm gonna put it on your Facebook page because it's on Layla's page. Hold on, y'all. Hold on for a second, people. Let me share it to Dr. McBride's with him. Here it is. Hear me. I'm going to share it to you now, to your page, to friend's profile, Jamali.
I'm looking right now.
Okay, there it is. Yeah, it's kind of cute. Yeah, he's in the world with all the flags and stuff, you know. Looks nice. There it is. Let's check it out now.
Yeah, I'm looking. Let me be out and then sign again.
Yeah, it's on your Facebook page.
Oh, Daniel Malrock. I didn't see his picture.
It's on there. It's a play it. His pitch, he flies on there. It's a video with the sound. You got to turn the sound on too.
Okay, no problem. After I am done with you, let me send it to him also.
Okay, all right. Okay, assalamu alaikum.
Thank you, sir, sister.
Okay, all right. So he heard me. Okay, so Saturday, y'all write that down. I have to put that on this, but we're gonna. Mina, how much longer do I have on prohibited invitations?
I think you only have like 3 more.
3 more. Okay, so like and maybe in 2 weeks, that'd be enough time for Jamali to put it together. Plus Geechee, her voice. Geechee, your voice will be good soon, right?
Just got a couple more days, Sister Layla.
Y'all see that? Miley Cyrus. You know, let's talk about Tay-Tay and Miley for a minute. Miley lost her voice. So y'all know we got to be easy with the jingles because, you know, Tay-Tay lost her voice. But then shit, that'll give you a couple of weeks. So there. All right. Okay. And remind me again, Fatma, so I can put it on the schedule tonight. Talik and Nisa. Now you can come up with your own stuff to say for that too, right, Geechee? Because you know, Stuart Nisa is about the women, and you know, yeah, you can come up with all that. Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay, guys, I'm sorry. We had to get that together because we got so many new classes now. Layla's trying to keep it cool, and that gives me a break. That'll give me a break. I have to stream. By the way, I'm gonna have to train somebody to learn how to stream. Ahmad. Brother Ahmad, could you learn how to stream? Write that down. Write that down, Fatma, for me to see if Brother Ahmad can help me with the stream, but he might be asleep. He's in Pakistan. I'll get one of these brothers. Okay, I'll get somebody to help with the stream. All right. Okay, let's get started, guys. Let me get started here. Start it over. Hold on. Okay, hold on. Wait a minute. Hold on. Where did it go? Where's this? Oh, here it is. This, I want this one. The Sunnah. Yeah, that one. I like that stream better. And wait a minute. Captions. Layla Nashiba. Imitation. What is this? Why is Layla? Where's the signs of the last hour? Didn't I have one up here for that? Well, let's just do it this way. Okay, here we go. All right. 3, 2, 1. Inna alhamdulillah wa salat wa salam ala wa rasulullah. I want to welcome everybody to our series, The Signs of the Last Hour. The Signs of the Last Hour. And inshallah, in this series, as you all know, I will be covering the signs of the last hour as told to us, foretold to us by the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. I'm not using anybody's fatwa, just so you know. I'm not using anyone's book. You know, these are all authentic hadiths taken from, looking on my stream, these are all authentic hadiths taken from the authentic sources, and just to cover myself, because again, as Muslims, you know, we have to get back to the old way of doing things. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam told us that the believer never falls in the same hole twice. Also, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam basically taught us as Muslims to never let the people see you sweat. Never let the people catch you in a compromised position. So to cover yourself, and this is what I teach the Muslim kids here too, make sure that when you're teaching Islam, that everything you use, of course, is authentic, but you want to go beyond that. You want it to be tight, so tight that only a fool would dare to challenge it. So that's why, even though there are so many hadiths out there about the different signs of the last hour, some of them, many of them are not authentic too, by the way. And we'll talk about that. You know, many of those hadiths are not authentic, but there are some that are, many that are too. Because remember, the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam told us, every prophet that Allah sent warned their people of the last hour. But Allah never went into such great detail with anyone like he did the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So the Prophet Muhammad told us everything that would happen from A to Z, all the way up to the last day and even past that. So the sources that I am using are mostly Bukhari and Muslim. Mostly Bukhari and Muslim. Like I tell my students, 85% of the knowledge of Islam can be found in Sahih Bukhari alone. 9 times out of 10, if another hadith from a different source is authentic, 9 times out of 10, you're going to find it in Bukhari. Okay? So I'm sticking to Bukhari and Muslim because a lot of people speak about the signs of the last hour and they get called out on it. You ain't calling me out on nothing. Okay? So subhanAllah, I'm sticking to that which is so authentic that only a fool would dare to question it. So today what we're going to do, because the last time we met for this class, we talked about how the scholars have divided the signs up into several different categories. Those signs that have already occurred. Those signs that have already occurred and will occur again. And those signs that have not occurred. Okay, and so, but what I'm going to do today is start at the beginning with the first of the minor signs of the last hour that have already occurred. Okay, so let me put my PowerPoint up on the screen so everyone can take notes. And let me set this down. Yeah. You like my background? Yeah, I've worked on that today, trying to keep the, this is, and by the way, guys, we're always in need of donations. As you guys can see, this is where your donations go. This is a 24-hour job streaming. Technology. We talked about technology today in our 6 o'clock class. Allah is the one that gives us knowledge of technology. And that knowledge is always changing. It's always upgrading. So again, we have to keep up with the times. I have to change my technology. I have to make it, accommodate, the new trends. And also not just the new trends. These servers change too. Y'all don't know what goes on with this cyberspace. The cyberspace technology changes, and we have to, that's why you have all these upgrades on your computers and your phones. Well, I have to upgrade my software that I use too and change it because what a platform I was using before may not be compatible with the new changes. So this is where your donations go. And remember, we are a nonprofit organization. That means your donations do not go in anybody's pocket here. Alhamdulillah, Layla Nashiba's independent, self-sufficient through the grace and mercy of Allah. Alhamdulillah, Allah took care of me. I just retired. Yeah, I'm pretty old. I just retired. 36 years of service. So I get a nice retirement check. So your money ain't coming to me. I don't need nothing from nobody. Okay? But your money goes to the Muslims around the world, because whatever donations you guys put into this website, not only can you see it, but also you're benefiting all the Muslims around the world that's logging in, trying to learn Islam in its truthfulness with the understanding of the companions, and you're getting all those rewards. So please, guys, please continue to support us, because by the way, you guys supported us for 2 months during Ramadan. Ramadan, we got enough donations that was able, I haven't had to beg for donations since Ramadan. But that now we've been in a hole. SubhanAllah, guys, please, we need your money to pay these expenses. We only have maybe $100 in our account, and this is just the middle of the month. We still got 2 more weeks to go. And then it's going to be the first, and we start over again. It costs, yeah, how much? The brother's asking me how much it costs. I wish you'd give me a donation for it. It costs over $2,000 a month to run this website. Look at the technology. Look at how technology keeps changing. The SEO programs. Oh, yeah, we do our own SEO. I do the SEOing. Oh, yeah. Everything keeps changing. So please support us. Please. And we prefer the kind that folds, not the kind that jingle. That's a joke. Y'all remember that movie? Mina, what movie? We prefer the kind that folds, not the kind that jingle.
I don't know.
Y'all remember that movie? Come on, y'all. Eddie Murphy in Arsenio Hall. Say it again.
No, that's not Trading Places. That's Coming to America.
Yeah, Coming to America. Y'all remember that? The preacher, he said, we in need of your donations, and we prefer the kind that folds, not the kind that jingle. Coming to America. Yeah, I like to throw in some nostalgia. Yeah, that's just my quirky personality. Keep it real. Trying to pull myself up out of that dump I'm in, pull myself back up with some humor. All right, so let's put the PowerPoint up on the screen for us, because this topic, we need to laugh right now, because by the end of this lecture, many of you are probably going to be crying. So I try to put some humor in there, because you might be crying in a few minutes. So let's put the PowerPoint up on the screen. Hold on, give me a second. Let me start with yeah, that's where your donations went, guys. New technology. All right, let me go to the Zoom. Okay, this is Zoom. Oh, by the way, it's going on in the background of Zoom too. All right, here we go. Oh, Brother Malik, before you leave, didn't you guys change your time? Somebody deal with that. AY, Brother Malik, did you change the time of your class to 8 o'clock? I need y'all to work on that with him. Type to him on the screen, because if y'all change to 8 o'clock, when are y'all starting at? So y'all deal with that, inshallah.
I don't know, Layla.
Okay, well, type it on WhatsApp. Y'all deal with that with him on WhatsApp, because I'm getting ready to start.
Layla, can you hear me?
Oh, somebody let her know I'm getting ready to do the class. Deal.
Okay,
Okay, y'all deal with that on WhatsApp, but tell him before he go to sleep, he needs to tell us when he's starting his 8 o'clock. Message on WhatsApp. Okay. Yeah.
Nobody can hear me. So.
Okay. Oh, and moderators, y'all do what y'all got to do. Okay. All right, here we go. Okay, here I come, guys. Okay, here we go. Let me put the PowerPoint up here. Here's the signs. All right, inshallah, you guys will be able to see it. Make it bigger. Okay, tonight what we're going to be doing, inshallah, is discussing the signs of the last hour that have already occurred, that were predicted by our Prophet Muhammad, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, to the companions during his lifetime. And it begins with the battles. The battles. Because like I tell you guys all the time, I know what's going on in the world around us is bad. We got the genocide against all Muslims, not just Gaza. against all Muslims because the Muslims in Africa are being genocided like crazy too. It's been happening there. They started that crap off with Bosnia years ago too, so this genocide against Muslims, you're going to see, this is one of the predictions or the signs of the last hour too. But I want y'all to remember that when the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam received the call to prophethood, don't you guys know that he was in battle from the time that he received the call until his death? And those companions that followed him, they were in battle from the time they converted until their deaths. Through the caliphate of Abu Bakr, Umar, Uthman, Ali, Muawiyah, etc., etc., etc. So the Muslims have been in battle, and the population, the rest of the people, have been trying to annihilate the Muslims ever since Allah sent Islam upon this earth. Did y'all know that? So war is nothing new. And when the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was contending with his companions, trying to speak to them the same way I'm speaking to you, trying to lift up their spirits and let them know that Allah is in charge. Everything that happens because Allah willed it, not because the Quraysh willed it. The same way I tell you guys, the Zionists don't have no power over us. The power lies with Allah. It doesn't lie with the Zionists. The same way I tell you that, the Prophet had to tell the companions. The power doesn't lie in the hands of the Quraysh. Yes, they're oppressing us. They're killing us. They're genociding us. But they are not going to succeed unless Allah allows it. Just like the Zionists, they're not going to succeed either, period, because Allah already told us that they will not succeed. Allah already told us that this nation will never be destroyed by our enemies. So for those of us who believe in Allah, for those of us who believe in the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, for those of us who learn our deen, we're handling what's happening the way Allah commanded us to, through supplication and self-reflection, because Allah already told us genocide will not happen. It will not come from our enemies, even though they've been trying this. So, as the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was dealing with his battles on the battlefield with his few companions, he told them of victories that we Muslims will have. And many of the companions found it hard to believe that Islam would become a worldwide religion, that Islam would eventually become a way of life. So what I'm going to do is go over the battles that our Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam shared with the companions that will occur, and the victory that we will receive. And that's why I'm telling you guys this, because we're at war now. Yes, we are, all of us. But they're not going to win, because you will be able to see what the companions couldn't see, that these things the prophet spoke of came true. And let's begin with the first one, the fire in the Hijaz that will light the necks of the camels in Busra, which is Syria. Okay? We have this authentic hadith that's narrated by Abu Hurairah, radiyallahu anhu. He said that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, the last hour will not come until fire comes out of the land of the Hijaz, and it will light the necks of the camels in Busra. In other words, that fire will be so bad. The fire that comes from out of Medina, that area of land that's near that part of Arabia, that Arabian fire will be so great, so tremendous, that you will be able to see it even in Syria. And again, when the prophet told the companions that, they couldn't believe it. They believed it, but they couldn't imagine it. And this did come true. This great sign came true in the year 654. Just like the prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said it would. And when it did, the companions remembered it. In fact, it's written down in history. One thing about Ibn Kathir, not only was he a scholar of Islam, he was a student of Ibn Qayyim, who was a student of Ibn Taymiyyah. But also Ibn Kathir was a historian. He loved history like I do. And he wrote about this fire. He said this happened in the year that it happened. The fire from the Hijaz illuminated the necks of the camels in Busra, just as the hadith said. In fact, they have letters from people who witnessed it that's been documented and placed in books to this day. For example, one letter said it happened on the night of Wednesday, the 3rd of Jumada al-Akhirah, in the year 654. There was a huge explosion in the city of Medina. The Hijaz is speaking about that area of Medina. There was a huge explosion in the city of Medina, and then a big earthquake which shook the ground. It shook the walls, the roofs, the buildings. And this earthquake continued every hour until Friday, the 5th of that month. So again, this went on for 2 days. It happened on the 3rd of Jumada, and it didn't stop until 2 days later. And after that earthquake, that huge explosion, there appeared a big fire that was close to Qurayza. And they said we could see from our homes inside the city, just as if we were sitting there. It was a large fire, brighter than 3 beacons of light. It was like a river of fire, and rivers, other branches of that river flowed to the valley of Shasa like streams. In fact, it blocked the stream of Shasa, which is no longer flowing. And when we saw it, a group of us went to look at it, and the mountain too was flowing with fire. It was so bad that the Iraqi pilgrims were blocked. They couldn't even perform, their travel. And this river of fire continued until it reached the Hera. Then it stopped. And then it started flowing back towards the east. So this is one of the first things that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam spoke about. Okay? The big fire. The fire that would begin in Medina, and it would be such a large fire that even the people in Busra will be able to see it. Subhanallah. Subhanallah. Also, another one of the minor signs that also happened is the jizya tax. Remember, we talked about this? This is a question that one of the new brothers, Brother Ibrahim, asked about. The jizya tax will no longer be collected. Remember that? What is the jizya? This is a tax paid by the Jews and Christians to live in the Muslim land. And the kiraj is paid by those who make use of the land that has been conquered by the Muslims. This is how Abu Bakr, Umar, Uthman, Ali. This is how the Islamic State received its money. These were the taxes paid to the Muslims to live on their lands and also to make use of the lands. Okay? Well, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said one day this will come to an end. Why? Because the Muslims will lose one of their main sources of income. They would lose that jizya tax, or they would lose that tax that they pay, that the non-Muslims pay to live off the land. And here's the hadith. Again, this is narrated by Abu Hurairah. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, Iraq will withhold its money. Syria will withhold its measurements, and Egypt will withhold its money. And you will go back to where you started. You will go back to where you started, meaning, in other words, it'll be like it was before we had that jizya tax. It'll be like it was before the people were paying us to use the land. Again, the weights and measurements, that's what the people used in those lands back in those days. Syria. Remember, Syria was part of the Roman Empire. It was not an Islamic state. Syria was the Roman Empire. Iraq was the Persian Empire. Egypt was conquered by both at different times, but neither one of these countries, Egypt, Syria, nor Iraq, were under Muslim rule back then. So imagine how the companions found this so unimaginable. They said, Syria, that's the Romans. Egypt, that's across the ocean. They couldn't even imagine going across the ocean then. Well, here the Prophet let them know that the time would come when we as Muslims will expand Islam beyond those points. And the people that are not Muslim will have to pay the taxes to live on our land because we will be in control. And then they'll lose that. Then we Muslims will lose that control. Well, it ended up happening. First, the Romans took over the Muslim land. Then the Tartars took over the Muslim lands. And as you all know, today, all the non-Muslims have taken parts of the Muslim lands. We no longer have a caliphate. There's no longer a khalifa. There's no longer any Islamic Sharia. So there's no longer jizya tax in a lot of these places. There's no longer the Quraj in a lot of these places because the Muslims have lost their caliphate. We don't have a caliphate anymore. So this already happened. And I hope I explained that hadith because that's what one of the brothers, Brother Ibrahim, was asking about. The jizya. Do they still pay jizya? Some places do, but most of the Muslim lands don't. Okay? Listen to what Imam Nawawi said about this hadith. He explained this hadith. And for those of you who don't know, Imam Nawawi was also one of the students that came through Ibn Taymiyyah, Ibn Qayyim. He's like Ibn Kathir and all of them. He said the most correct meaning of this hadith is that the Persians and Romans will take over the land before the end of time, and they will deprive the Muslims of jizya tax, of this type of income. And as you all know, it done already happened. We done lost so many parts of the world, like Spain. The Muslims had conquered Spain before. Don't y'all know that? Spain is not under Islamic rule anymore. Okay? Portugal. The Muslims had conquered Portugal. That's no longer under Islamic rule. So we done lost all that. Also, we have this hadith from Sahih Muslim, from Jabir. He said that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, soon you will not receive any money from the Persians because they will withhold it. In other words, those lands that belong to Persia, you won't receive that money anymore because you will have lost those lands. And the same with the Romans, because again, Syria was part of the Roman kingdom, and so are so many others. This is happening now in Iraq. Look at Iraq. So again, guys, all of these hadiths, that the Prophet mentioned about us losing income due to the jizya tax no longer being established. It's already happened. Now, in regards to the hadith about Jesus, that's different. There is another hadith that says when Jesus, alayhi salam, comes back, he will come back as the ruler of the world, and he will do away with the jizya. That hadith is talking about for those countries that do still have the jizya. For example, Saudi Arabia today. Like I said, a lot of those countries, like I said, Spain is no longer under Muslim rule. There's no jizya tax there no more, nor is there in Portugal. But Saudi Arabia, there's a lot of non-Muslims that live there, work there, and they pay taxes. But when Jesus comes, Jesus is going to establish Islam as the universal religion of the world. And because everyone living on earth will be Muslim, then there's no need to charge people taxes because everybody is Muslim. So that hadith is different. These hadiths are speaking about the land that the Muslims will lose due to our wars against the Romans, the Persians, and the Tartars and others. Okay? So that's already occurred. Now, we're going to go into detail about the battles, about the wars and the conquests that our Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam mentioned that have already occurred. And again, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam told his companions of the victories that were to come, and they couldn't imagine it because they were so downtrodden back then. But he told them of the victories that were to come, in which Allah would bring about victory to the Muslims. He told them that at this time you are weak. At this time we're being oppressed in Mecca. At this time we're being besieged in Medina. At this time we're living in constant fear of the enemy. He said, but the day will come when we won't have to deal with that. And here's the hadiths. And again, all of these hadiths are from Sahih Bukhari. Ibn al-Arat, he said, we complained to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam while he was reclining on his cloak in the shade of the Kaaba. We said to him, O Prophet of Allah, why don't you pray for victory for us? Why don't you make dua for us? We're suffering so badly. The Prophet answered, he said, a hole was dug for a man that came before you. He was put inside that hole. And then they brought a saw and they put it on his head and they cut him in half. But he still did not abandon his religion. Also, another man was combed with an iron comb until his flesh was torn off his bones. But he did not abandon his religion. This is words for you Muslims today. So many of you Muslims today are freaking out about what's going on over in Gaza. Like I tell you guys, this is nothing new. Nothing new. He told these companions, Here you are complaining to me to make dua for you when there were people that came before you who would never abandon their religion. He said, by Allah, Allah will make Islam complete. And the day will come when a person can travel from Yemen to where we are now without fearing anyone attacking them or anyone harming them. But you have to be patient. He said, you Muslims are impatient. And these are the words. What would the prophet say if he were living today and saw you Muslims protesting the decree of Allah? Again, the prophet wasn't protesting. The companions did not protest. Not this way. Not the way you guys are doing. That's what kafirs do. Kafirs protest because kafirs don't believe in the qadr of Allah. Kafirs believe that man is in control, not Allah. The prophet told his companions, calm down, be patient, work on yourself, talk to Allah, strengthen your relationship with Allah. What would he say about you twisted Muslims today who are walking around with flags on, looking stupid, protesting, screaming, hollering, crying against the qadr of Allah? Astaghfirullah. Y'all see how we take these hadiths? This is another example of what we talked about in our 6 o'clock class. These hadiths are not outdated. They never get old. The Prophet Muhammad, his mission, his message is clear to the end of time. Patience, Muslims. Allah has already said that our destruction as a nation will never come from our enemies. I don't care what the Zionists are doing in Gaza. I don't care what the Zionists are doing in Africa. I don't care what the Zionists are doing to us here in America, what they're doing to those of you in the UK. They can keep on. But Allah speaks the truth. Allah has promised us that they will never succeed. He has promised us that our destruction will never come from our enemies. Allah will never give them that power. He said our destruction will come from ourselves because we will abandon La ilaha illallah, Muhammadur Rasulullah. And that's what you Muslims have done, many of you. Many of you are Mu'tazila. Many of you do not believe that everything good and everything bad comes from Allah. Many of you believe that man creates evil. Many of you have given that power to the Zionists. So this is why there will be no success for you. Because your faith is in question. Y'all see that, how we learn from these hadiths? This is why I'm doing this series, The Signs of the Last Hour. Because the prophet told us how to handle ourselves. Back in the Prophet ﷺ's time, safety and security was non-existent. The law of the jungle prevailed. But look at how now you can travel from Mecca to Medina without having to worry about highway robbery or attack. So again, this has already come true. And it's a lesson for you Muslims today who do not accept or believe in the qadr of Allah. Okay? Also, the Prophet ﷺ reassured his companions when they were being persecuted for their belief. He said, don't you know that Islam will eventually go beyond the borders of Arabia. That Islam will destroy the great empires of the Romans and the Persians. Subhanallah. The same thing I tell you Muslims today. Islam will always prevail. Zionism will never prevail. Listen to what the hadith of Ibn Utbah. He said, I heard the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam say, you Muslims will attack the Arabian Peninsula and Allah will help you to conquer it. Then you will attack Persia and Allah will help you to conquer it. Then you will attack Rome and Allah will help you to conquer it. And then you will attack the Antichrist and Allah will enable you to defeat him. Why are you Muslims all head over heels about what's going on in the world today? The Zionists don't have the power. Don't you all see this? They will never, ever, ever destroy us. Never. You have to be patient. You have to fall back upon La ilaha illallah. Make sure that you believe in the qadr of Allah. Because again, most of you don't. Most of you are Mu'tazilite. Okay? Also, we have another hadith. Adi ibn Hatim. He said, while I was with the Prophet, a man came and complained about poverty. The same way y'all complain. Then another man came and complained about how he can't travel without being, afraid. The Prophet then said to them both, he said, oh, Adi, have you seen the city of El Hira? He said, if you live long enough, you will see a woman traveling in a litter on the back of a camel coming from El Hira, and she will perform the tawaf around the Kaaba, fearing no one except Allah. So here the Prophet was letting the Muslims know, be patient. I'm here. I'm helping to establish La ilaha illallah, Muhammadur Rasulullah. Nothing happens overnight, guys. Everything happens in stages. Be patient. Instead of complaining all the time, look at the good that Allah has given us and turn to him. Make dua and be patient with his decree. That's what he was telling them. Because if we remain patient and we work on ourselves to make sure that our faith is in sync with what Allah commands it to be, then Allah will answer our dua. Allah will bring about victory. Allah will bring about success for us in this world and the hereafter. What would you think the Prophet would say today? The same thing. The same thing. The same thing. Zionists are not in control. Allah is in control. Allah is doing this for a reason. Allah says in the Quran, I send war. War comes from me. I send war as a means of cleansing the earth of bad people. And I send war as a means of letting you recognize who the true believers are from the hypocrites. I tell you guys, ever since this stuff in Gaza started, this time, I see who the real people of knowledge are and who the hypocrites are. Okay? And also Allah says, I send war to test the believers and tempt them with something better than all of this. That's why I tell you guys, don't cry for the children. Many of you crying about children dying. Those children are in a better place than you and me. Allah took them away from this nonsense. Those children, they're in the form of green birds flying around the throne of Allah, making dua for you, making dua for their families to join them. So why are you crying? Allah tested them with something better than all of this. For those men, for those women who sincerely believed in Allah and they died, Allah tested them and gave them something better than all this too. But for those who died who were wicked, and I want y'all to not get it twisted, not everyone that dies in Gaza is a martyr. Just like that's like the Prophet told Umar, radiallahu anha, after the Battle of Badr, when Umar was walking around saying he's a martyr, the Prophet said, no, that one right there is in the hellfire right now, holding on to the cloak that he stole from the war booty. Not everybody that dies fighting in a battle that's Muslim is good. Like Allah says, he sends war to cleanse the earth of bad people too. So don't get it twisted. We got a lot of bad Muslims living on this earth today. Most of the Muslims living on this earth, like I told y'all, are Mu'tazila. That's bad. That's bad because you deny the qadr of Allah. That's bad because many of them also don't believe in the hadith. So what does that say about them? They're not a martyr. We got to stop questioning Allah. We have to stop questioning his qadr. That's what the Prophet would tell y'all if he was here. This is what he told these companions when he was there, and they were going through the same so-called genocide. So the rules don't change. It's just the people's names change. The names change. The scenario may change, but the laws, the rules are still here. Okay? Also with this hadith, when the Prophet gave that answer to Adi, he said, the time will come when a woman can travel by herself in safety. He said, what about the bandits, the robbers of Tyre, who are always spreading mischief throughout the land? The Prophet said, guess what? If you live long enough, you will also acquire the money of the Persians. And again, this companion could not imagine that. He said the Persians are rich. They're wealthy. The son of Hormuz is very wealthy. The Prophet said, yeah, well, the time will come when you will be wealthy, when you will inherit all their money. And that did. This was during the Caliphate of Umar. Adi and the other companions saw this come true when the Muslims defeated the Persians. They had so much money, so much gold, that there wasn't anyone to give the zakat to that year. And the Prophet mentioned that. He said, if you live a long life, you will see a man bringing out a handful of gold or silver, but he won't be able to find anyone who needs it, no one to give it to in charity. That happened under the Caliphate of Umar, radiallahu anhu. Also, the Prophet continued. He said, also, if you live long enough, one of you will meet Allah on the day when you meet him, and there will be no interpreter between you and him. And this is the day of judgment. So here you can see the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, his method of trying to calm the companions is the same methodology I try to use with you guys here on this website. What makes Sunnah followers different? Because we are teaching you Islam in its truthfulness, not from the understanding of a madhab, not from and the understanding of the Mutazila, not from the understanding of any Sufi sect, group, or Khawarijite. We're teaching you Islam in its truthfulness with the understanding of those original companions. Y'all see the difference? That's why you will never see a fatwa coming off of my website. Okay? The prophet says when you stand to meet Allah, Allah is going to ask you, didn't I send a prophet to you to teach you the truth? You will say yes. Allah will say, didn't I give you money and bless you? You will say yes. Then you will look to your right and you will see nothing but hell. And you will look to your left and still see nothing but hell. Adi then stopped. And he said, after that, the prophet said, save yourselves from the hellfire, even if it's with giving a half of a date in charity. And if you don't even have a date to give in charity, then save yourself from the hellfire by using a good word, by being nice to the people, saying nice things about the people. Subhanallah. This is the hikmah, the wisdom of our Prophet Muhammad. And like I said, there's no Muslim on this planet, not in Gaza, not in Africa, not in America, not in Australia. There is no Muslim on this planet who's going through more hell or strife than those companions did. And this is how he taught them to face their calamities. By telling them of the victories that will come. The same way that I am telling you that Allah has already promised us that our destruction will never come from our enemies. Also in another hadith, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said the Muslims will destroy the dominion of Khosrows. That's the Persian king, and Caesar, who was the ruler of Rome. And they will spend their treasure for the sake of Allah. And this all came to be. This is a picture here of some of the ruins. A famous place of ruin in Persia where the Muslims destroyed. This is when the Muslims destroyed the Persians. These are some of the ruins left. So this already came to happen. Also, we have in Imam Bukhari's collection, the prophet said when the king of Persia is destroyed, there will be no king after him. And that was true. That was the end of the Persian Empire as we know it. Because what happened, guys? Persia became an Islamic state. That's when the Persians, the Muslims had victory. That's when the Persians adopted Islam. He also said when Caesar is destroyed, there will be no Caesar after him. And this was true. When the Muslims fought against the Romans and defeated them, that part of the world, Iraq, which was Persian, Syria, and those countries all became Muslim. Those are now Muslim countries. Syria was not the original Arabs, but they became Arab. And again, the prophet said, you will spend their treasure for the sake of Allah. In other words, he was telling the companions, you will have so much money. You will not be the poor desert Bedouins like you are today. You will all become rich nations, and they are. Bahrain was part of the Persian Empire. When the Muslims defeated Persia, Bahrain is now one of the richest countries. It's part of the Gulf. The Emirates were under the Persian rule too, guys. The Emirates is now the richest part of the world, the Gulf. Kuwait was under Persian rule. It's now Muslim, and they're rich. Oman, that was Roman. The Romans, look at it. Syria. Look at it. So all those Gulf states, guys, all those Gulf countries, this is what the prophet was talking about. You guys will be so rich. And they are. Look at Dubai. Look at Abu Dhabi. Look at Kuwait. Look at Bahrain. Look at Oman. Look at these rich countries. So you see all this stuff came true. And these are some of the ruins. Also, in Sahih Muslim, we have another hadith where the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, Allah showed me the earth. I saw the east and the west. The dominion of my nation will stretch as far as everything I was shown. And I have been given two treasures, the red and the white. The red and the white. Subhanallah. And this happened, guys. The dominion of the Prophet Muhammad, look at it. It stretches all the way from Saudi Arabia through the West, America, Australia, everywhere, north, south. Islam is everywhere. And not only that, guys, but also the Prophet said, not only that, but we will also conquer India. And that happened too. According to the hadith, the Prophet said 2 groups of my nation will be saved by Allah from the fire. The first group is the group that conquers India. And the second group is the group that will be with Jesus, alayhi salam. Y'all know who that group is that'll be with Jesus. These are the Gazans. These are those Muslims right there in Jerusalem. Right there in Jerusalem. That's why I tell you, all that pity, that sympathy y'all got. As Muslims, we don't sympathize for anyone. We empathize for them. You don't have to worry about the Zionists destroying Gaza, destroying the Muslims, taking back Jerusalem. None of that. Because Allah done already told us, we will prevail. Islam will prevail. And 2 of the best groups are those who conquered India. That already happened. And the group that is yet to come are those of us who live to see Jesus, alayhi salam, and will stand with him. Those 70, we're going to get to that hadith. There will only be 75,000. When Jesus comes back, there will only be 75,000 Muslims who will stand with him and fight against the Antichrist. And they will then take back Jerusalem. They will be the best on earth. Y'all understand? So when you learn these hadiths, again, you ask yourself, why am I freaking out? Why am I panicking? Why am I going crazy about what's happening in the world? This is temporary. This is Allah's way of testing us to see which of us are believers. This is Allah's way of telling us Muslims to get it together, to wake up, man, turn back to the Quran, turn back to the Sunnah with the understanding of the companions, turn back to traditional Islam, let go of this progressive crap. Also, the Prophet spoke about how we would conquer Constantinople, which already happened. How we would conquer Rome, the seat of the Vatican, which already happened. Abu Kabal said, we were with Ibn Amir al-As, and he was asked which of the 2 cities would be conquered first, Rome or Constantinople. Ibn al-As called for a box that had rings in it, and he took a letter out of it. And he said, while we were with the Prophet, we used to write things down. That's why I tell you guys, my students, write things down. Write these hadiths down so you can remember them. He said, we used to write things down. And when he asked which of those 2 cities would be conquered, Allah said the city of Hercules, meaning Constantinople would be first. And it did. As you guys know, it's all in history. The Muslims took over Constantinople. Okay? Also, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said in the future, the Muslims will have great power by which they will spread Islam and defeat shirk. And then they will conquer Rome. And by the way, that happened. And again, the Prophet said this matter, Islam, will reach as far as the night and day. Some will be honored and some will be humiliated. Allah will honor Islam and humiliate the kafir. And again, this already happened. All of this stuff is recorded in history, guys. It's recorded in the kafir books. If you're a historian, you go to college, you take history classes, you read about this stuff. The Muslims also, it was predicted by the Prophet that we would fight and destroy the Turks. The Prophet said one of the signs in the last hour will be that you will fight a people who wear shoes made from hair. And one of the signs of the hour is you will fight a people with wide faces like flattened shields. These were the Turks. The Muslims fought the Turks. Also in another version, the Prophet said the hour will not come until you fight the Turks who have small eyes, red faces, and flat noses. These hadiths are all Bukhari and Muslim. And these battles already happened. The Muslims did indeed fight the Turks, and they fought them more than once. So again, these are the battles. These are some of the battles that our Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam shared knowledge of with the companions as a means of easing them, giving them the hope they need, giving them the confidence they needed to handle their trials, in life, and to handle them with dignity, with balance and humility, because our way of life will never be destroyed, not by our enemies. And the same way he picked his companions up as a daya, as a person who's protecting his sunnah, because that's what we are here at this website. That's what I am. That's what Dr. Ibrahim Jamali is. This is what Sheikh Morsi Abu Atayib is. We are protectors of the sunnah. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said Islam will become strange. Islam will even disappear. My sunnah will become forgotten. People will issue and take Islamic verdicts, fatwa, over what I say, over what the Prophet, over what Allah says. But don't fret. He said there'll always be a handful of believers who will hold firm to my sunnah, who will hold firm to my example, who will protect it, who will try to preserve it. That's Layla Nashiba. That's Dr. Jamali. That's Abu Atayib. That's Sheikh Muhammad Saeed Adli. That's what we do here at Sunnah Followers. We are protectors of the Sunnah. Don't get it twisted. So if you truly believe in Allah, guys, like y'all say y'all do, you truly love the Prophet Muhammad and believe in him like you say you do, then you're going to calm down about what's happening in the world. You're going to understand that this is all part of Allah's plan. He promised this would happen. You have to stop fearing man and instead fear Allah. Turn back to your Lord. Get your aqidah together. Stop denying the qadr of Allah. Stop protesting against the decree of Allah, and instead accept his decree and do what he said. Reflect upon yourself. Change the condition of yourself. And maybe then, only maybe then, he will change the condition of the people. All right? Okay, I'm going to stop right here. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilaik. Any questions? And for you brothers, I'm not your typical woman, as you can see. So my voice will always be the way Allah commands it to be. Strong, firm, intimidating. My appearance will always be the way Allah commanded it to be. Beautiful! Because Allah loves beauty. But you better back off. Intimidating as well. This is how the female companions were. They were just like Layla. So back off. You got the wrong one here. All right. Any questions? Comments? Yes. Okay, one of the brothers said, yes, exactly. I gave you the source. Every single one of these hadiths, you can find them in Bukhari and Muslim. That's all I'm dealing with for this class. I could have given y'all a whole bunch more. But like I said, only a fool will challenge what I'm presenting. You're going to be the fool?
Jazakallah khair, Layla. If there was ever any fear, any doubt in my heart, it's gone.
That's how
Alhamdulillah.
that's how the prophet did it. Because like I said, nobody suffered more than those companions, guys. They were only a handful. When those companions fought the Battle of Badr, there were just, 300 of them? 300! They could never believe that they would have victory over these thousands coming at them with horses, spears, bows. They didn't even have horses. They didn't even have armor. The prophet said, patience. Do you think Allah will allow these people to wipe us out when we believe in him? Islam will always prevail. It's just a test. It's just the Lord's way of cleansing the earth of the hypocrites. Because we do have a lot of hypocrites. Oh yeah, a lot of hypocritical Muslims. The prophet had a bunch of hypocritical Muslims like we got today. And it's also Allah's way of tempting you, the believer, with something better. The hereafter is much better than this world. I'd rather go out fighting for Allah. I'd rather go out fighting for my Lord. Hello! What did Hakim, may Allah be pleased with her, tell Peter the Great when she fought, when the Romans had taken those female companions captive? She said, you will never have your way with us, Kafir. We are women of the poles. She took that pole out the ground. She told the sister other women, we are women of the poles. We will die fighting. You can have your way with my corpse, but you will never touch this. And that's how they went out. But they didn't die. Khalid bin Walid came to the rescue. Hello. Those were true believers. You Muslims today are weak. Y'all protesting. Keep on swinging your flags. We shall overcome one day. Come on, Muslims. All y'all do, y'all reminded me of the 60s. We shall overcome. You idiots. You darn skippy, we gonna overcome because Allah promised that. But all you're doing is showing that you don't have the belief system. You're protesting your Lord. You women and men are stupid. I look at the Muslims today and I just go, if it makes me sick, I don't even turn my TV on. When I do watch TV, y'all know what I watch? I watch the Vampire Diaries. Or I watch Teen Wolf. Or I watch the originals. If I want to laugh, I'll put on Medea. But I don't touch nothing dealing with what's happening in the world today, because when I see the Muslims acting all these Mutazila Muslims protesting against the law, it makes me sick. I get sick to my stomach. So if it makes me sick, I can just only imagine how sick you people are making a law. Protesting against your Lord, you shall overcome. You people crazy. With your flags, like the Kafir. Just like them. That's another sign. We will follow them and imitate them to the point that if they go into a hole, we right behind them. Let's get the flags, tie them around us, and we shall overcome. It's disgusting. Any other questions or comments? Okay, I'm going to stop right here. Tomorrow, my new series, and it's going to be good too. This is for the brothers too, and the sisters too. My series on enjoining the good and forbidding the evil. Because we're teaching you a lot of information here, but a lot of you Muslims got to learn how to share it. Because when it comes to enjoining good and forbidding evil, there's certain personality traits you have to have. And we're going to go over all of that. So that series will begin tomorrow. Yeah, I'm going to be up all night. This brother's asked, yeah, well, why you want to know? You a brother. Ain't none of your business if I'm going to be up all night. Wait a minute. Who this talking to me? It ain't none of your business if I'm going to be up all night. Oh, I'm sorry. That's my brother. I'm sorry, guys. I'm like, who is this? Who is this man asking me? Am I gonna be? None of you. That's my brother. Oh, you want to call me? Yeah, call me later. Yeah, I'll be up. What you doing on here listening to me? That's one of my brothers. I got 4 brothers. Yeah. I'm like, who is this dude asking me? Am I gonna be up all night? None of your business. What you want to know for? I'm gonna jump back, poppy cat. Yeah, give me a call. I'll be up because I got to work on my PowerPoint, and I got to do this stuff for my for Jamali. All this. I got a lot to do, so I'll be up. Yeah, just call whatever time you want. Bring them babies over. I want to see my nephews. Bring my babies over. All right, guys. Okay, if there's no other questions, I'm going to log out because I do have a lot to do. Tomorrow is enjoining the good and forbidding the evil. Yes, let me show that commercial again. I just want to look at it again. I just made it today, so let me look at it again. Yeah, enjoining good and forbidding the evil. Wait a minute. Yeah, here it is. Let me look at it.
Enjoying the good and forbidding the evil. Bring me to the clear and far away. It's based on knowledge, gentleness, and patience. Let's learn doing things in the next level. Enjoying the good and forbidding the evil. Bring me to the clear and far away. doing things today to the next level. Enjoying the good and forbid the evil. They lead to the clear and far away. And it's unknown. It's based on knowledge, gentleness, and patience. Let's learn doing things today to the next level.
Oh, mashallah. Oh, did I do it? Yeah, mashallah. I like that, Geechee. Yeah, I put that video together last night, guys. Sister Geechee, I want to thank Allah, for bringing me my Geechee. I had made supplication a couple of months ago asking Allah to, get me out of this, send me somebody can help me with this website because of all those copyrights. And mashallah, Allah brought in Geechee. She does all our jingles. And I'm going to show y'all a picture of little Geechee. Where my Geechee at? There. That's my Geechee. There she is. That's our jingle writer, Geechee. She keeps it going for us. She keeps it real. She threw that together in 1 hour. I told her I needed 2 jingles for the two new classes. She put that jingle together and the one for the class on Thursday. And the thing is, her voice is hoarse. She got something wrong with her throat. But I told her, do whatever you singers do to clean it up. I don't know what she did, guys. I told her, you better do the Miley Cyrus, do the Tay-Tay Brittany. She did something, but she threw them 2 jingles together, and y'all can't tell that her voice is gone. She sounds just as normal. Yeah, but that's Geechee. May Allah bless her and forgive her of her sins. I mean, I wouldn't know what I'd do without my Geechee in here. And also, guys, I want to thank my sister, Maisha. I don't have her picture in here, do I? Maisha, she's the one that's been putting the shorts out. Yeah, those shorts that y'all been watching on YouTube. She's been putting the shorts out of mine. Her and brother Ahmad. So may Allah bless them both. Yeah, Jamila Geechee's voice is gone. Can you believe she did that yesterday? You heard how bad her voice was yesterday? I told her, you better do the Miley Cyrus. Do the Britney. I don't know what she did. She drank something and came back with those 2 jingles. And her voice back hoarse. So there is something that those singers do to their throats to make them able to, perform when they at their award show. Then they go back hoarse. Yeah. Sister Santisa, I don't know. I don't know what that Ashkenazi is. I don't know what that is. Yeah. Okay, guys, inshallah, let me get off here so I can see what my brother want with me. And also, I need to get started on all these PowerPoints I need to do because enjoining the good and forbidding the evil, I need to put that out tomorrow. So let me get busy on it. All right, guys. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika. Ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilaik. Everybody have a good night. The Zoom room is open. And don't forget to donate because we ain't got no money in our account. Subhanallah.